Super Centex After Dark. It's already in the AM as we record this podcast. We call it the After Dark. Uh, yeah, so um, we all three had interesting games tonight.
Yep, for sure.
Um,
I was tracking Michael's game. I know I saw the score of yours early. I didn't see a later score. I know that Hamilton won.
24-3.
Okay, yeah.
Um, I mean, and since we're talking about it, I'll just go ahead and get it out of the way because I think y'all's games were certainly more competitive. Um, so y y we've talked about it before, but Craig Horn comes from the Don Hyde school of tell it like it is. Uh,
Absolutely.
and I interviewed both coaches after the game, Ryan Marwitz for Hamilton and Craig Horn for Axtell. Um, and I'm trying to remember the adjectives that Horn used. Horrendous, disgusting. I don't remember.
He
Like,
he does not
um,
sugarcoat it, Bryce.
no,
He
he
never
does not
does.
sugarcoat it. Which, yeah, Axtell was not good on offense tonight. They just weren't. And every time it seemed like they had something going, they would fumble it away and give it right back to Hamilton. But you got to give Hamilton a lot of credit. So we talked this week on the podcast about, we thought if it were kind of a wide open game that Axtell might have the edge. If it were more of a ground and pound game that Hamilton would have the edge. Well, I think Hamilton showed tonight they've got some big playability. Um, they were
Interesting.
they
Yeah.
were
Very interesting.
impressive. So
Because Axel's defense has been awesome this year.
They've
and
been pretty good. Yeah,
and
yeah.
Marwitz credited Axtel's defense, and he said that they were really good.
Mhm.
But they had uh, 6 plays of 20 plus yards, and most of those were a lot more than 20. Um, so Carson Roberts for Hamilton uh, completed 7 passes on the night for 226 yards, like
Holy
32 yards
smokes.
a completion. Uh, this kid, Devin Eanes for Hamilton, number one, he touched the ball 4 times on offense. He also had a pick on defense. It was the Devin Eanes show tonight for Hamilton. Um, 4 times on offense. He had 3 catches, 1 carry for 155 yards.
Holy
Yeah.
He had
moly.
a 47-yard run, and then he had a bunch of long catches. Uh, so yeah, they big played Axtell, and that was another thing that Horn said was like, even bad teams have been able to get vertical on us,
Right.
like obviously, but there's no question it would have been a much different game if you'd had Levi Leathers out there.
Mhm.
Rod has this sort of sad photo of Levi sitting over there on his scooter thing with his leg up, watching the game. I mean, but give credit to Hamilton because they're good, and their defense was lights out. Made several picks, fumble recoveries. Yeah, I mean they were just great. Obviously, to hold Axel to 3 points, I don't care if Levi was out. That was still very, very impressive. Um,
You
and
know,
he was,
Hamilton went 5 rounds last year, and
Mhm.
and they had a couple of losses in the first 3 or 4 weeks, 5 weeks
mm-hmm,
maybe this
mm-hmm.
year. But maybe in the back of their heads, they're just saying, "Let us get to the postseason again. We know how to get it
That's
done."
true.
Yeah,
That's true.
and Marwitz talked about early in the season and said how the guys like took those games and really learned from them
Hmm.
and like embraced it, and
Me
he
and my
was
buddy Luke have started to call those rat poison games. From the
okay.
old Nick Saban rat poison rant,
Yeah.
like when you start thinking you're too good, it's kind of like Nick Saban said that's rat poison.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So those losses like that can keep you away from the rat poison.
By the way,
Nice.
I don't know if we ever officially said it on a podcast, or we may have not even written about it, but I believe it was a broken tibia for Levi, and that's what he had surgery for. So he
The
was
break
obviously
that
out.
required surgery is what I heard on
Yeah,
the street this week.
right.
Yeah. I don't know how long that keeps you out. Let's hope we see him in baseball season. That would be
Hmm.
good for Axtell.
Hmm.
So I do have to tell you a quick story though, because this was just too good.
I
um,
got a preview of this earlier when I said that
this,
teenage boys aren't the smartest.
this is one of those bless her little heart stories. Okay, um, so I'm there at Robinson in the press box. I'm in the booth with the scoreboard guys, and there was a lot of people there tonight. Like I think both had radio crews maybe, um, and of course Robinson does a lot with its broadcast and its scoreboard and everything,
Hmm.
so they take up a big chunk of the press box. Anyway, I had my perch. I was good. Well, we had the heat on because it was cold out, but also the window opened just a little bit, which actually made it really nice in there with the little cool coming in and the heat on. It was lovely. But they wanted to hear uh, for the whistles, and stuff from the refs. So anyway, we could hear the Hamilton. The Hamilton was the home crowd. We can hear them a lot, like a lot of what they're saying. And this young lady, I would say she was in her 20s or 30s, was right near the window. And so I mentioned the broadcast team of Robinson. So one of the things that they do when there's a penalty, and there was a number of penalties, Hamilton had a bunch of false starts tonight,
The truck
is
backing up. Beep.
beep, beep, beep. Yes. And so they had done this a number of times. And this girl says, "What is that? Is there a truck around and I could not stop laughing, y'all. I mean, I'm like holding the guy next to me laughing. Uh, and and then like two or three more times after that when they did it again, she goes, they're playing it up there. Uh it it's like a truck backing up because they're backing them up. I was
What
like,
a revelation.
nothing gets past those
Yeah.
folks.
Like, yes, ma'am. Everyone else in the stadium knew
Yep.
that.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, and then the other thing that made me laugh was sometime after that, a couple of Hamilton fans were going, we're the home team.
Oh my gosh.
But they were doing it for both sides.
Right.
It didn't matter, but oh, it was high comedy. I was
That's
in.
good.
I was laughing.
That is good. That is good.
Anyway, Hamilton goes on to the state semifinals, as Chad mentioned, for the second straight year. They will play West Texas, the Comanches, um, next week. They don't have that set. Actually, I informed Coach Marwitz that it was West Texas, and he said, "I thought Cisco won." I said,
Nope. Yep.
"It was West Texas." So they don't have that set up, but obviously it'll be somewhere west.
Yep.
And that's our only team left. So let's
They
get
are
to
the
those games.
they are the lone soldier left.
Michael, down goes la-vega to West Orange Stark in, as you called it earlier this week, round 4.
Round 4. And
Two last year, two this year. Yeah.
yep. So if you guys remember, West Orange Stark beats la-vega in the regular season last year, and
Yes.
la-vega gets them back in the playoffs
La
with
Vega's the meat on that double decker sandwich.
Yeah, I
yes,
like the
correct.
way you phrased it. I was just looking at your story, Michael. You called it a reverse Uno
Yep,
card.
reversing. I mean, because that's literally what it was, and man, it was. This was a good game. La Vega did not bring its best game. I would say that's not a That's not to take anything away from West Orange Stark. That's a very good football team. Um, guess how many times they passed the ball, the Mustangs guys. Just take a guess how many times they passed it.
10? 10?
3.
Close, two times.
Ow.
They threw the ball twice. Both were in the first half. Ran the crap out of the ball. They've got some big guys up front. And now I will say, la-vega was in full control of this game early in the third. Um, la-vega was down 12-7 late in the second quarter. They were able to score before the half. They got the opening kickoff, scored again, and it became 28-20. And then uh, la-vega forces a punt right after, and then their offense starts moving again. So it's like, okay, here's the Pirates. We all knew and expected, and maybe they're gonna score again here, take a 2 possession lead, um, and kind of just handle business as we thought la-vega would in the fourth round of the playoffs, which is what they did last year too. Well, here's where the game completely changed, and here's where West Orange Stark took control and then never let up because la-vega's driving. They get to the 33-yard line of West Orange Stark. It's 4th and 5. Yeah, 4th and 5, and probably too far for Giovanni to make that field goal, but manageable enough. Hey, let's go for it. We've got all the momentum right now. Courtney Parr takes a 2-step drop, steps back up into the pocket, is faced with heavy pressure. He gets hit as he's throwing the ball. DB makes an unbelievable play, takes it 73-yard pick six.
Wow.
Now that cuts the lead to 20-18 because they failed the 2-point conversion. So you know what? Tough break. We got the ball back. We're up to let's just regain control, right? Well, 2 plays later, la-vega fumbles deep in their own territory. West Orange Stark recovers. Very next play, let me make sure I get this right. I believe it was a 31-yard touchdown by Kelvie Jefferson, running back for the Mustangs, who, by the way, there's no way he's taller than like 5'4". But he is a freaking beast running back. Like this guy is legit. He's only a junior, but he's a really good running back. So he takes it on that very next play, 31 yards for a touchdown. Game completely flips on his head. They're up 25-20 now, kind of midway through the third, and now it's like, all right, it's gut check time for the Pirates. Let's see what they've got. By the way, in the first half, la-vega had fumbled and West Orange, they had fumbled inside their own 5, and West Orange Stark had scored. So that last fumble that I just mentioned, then that's 21 points off turnovers that West Orange Stark had,
And
including that pick six.
did West Orange Stark win the turnover margin 3-0 or?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
la-vega's defense did not. That'll kill you. Now
Yeah.
they did. The la-vega's defense did play pretty well for the most part. They just couldn't stop the run, and then when you've lost all the momentum, you're playing from behind, your offense is not staying on the field much. That defense guys got tired. And it wasn't like a injury filled game, but they did have a couple guys get banged up. I could tell, like in the trenches. And you guys know at a school like la-vega, and honestly it's probably the same for West Orange Stark too, a lot of those guys play both ways. And we're 15, 16 weeks into the year, and they're tired and they're banged up,
Yeah,
and then when you're playing a West Orange Stark team that runs the ball so well with these big guys up front, all they had to do was just keep leaning forward, and
Yeah.
and then when the game was officially put out of reach, so West Orange Stark kicks a field goal, makes it 28-20. la-vega's offense, meanwhile, can't do anything, and then here's where the game was officially just like, all right, this is it. The Pirates are forced to punt early in the fourth. There's 10 minutes left when West Orange Stark gets the ball. They're up 28-20. So if you're the Pirates, you're like, let's get a stop, and we're still in this. 13-play, 84-yard drive that took 7 minutes off the clock. Ends in a 1-yard touchdown by that little 5'3", 5'4" running back. And
Just
that's it.
squeeze the life out of it.
That's all it took.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned la-vega is really talented, but they're also really young on the defensive front, right?
They are. They're young, and I'll say a couple big picture things about la-vega in a second, but I'll just read off y'all some numbers before. I mean, I don't know if y'all wanted to say anything or ask me any questions, but that little running back, 32 carries, 244 yards, 3 touchdowns. I haven't seen one player go off on a Pirates defense like that, so that's pretty good.
It's okay, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good.
Um,
especially for a 5'4" running back.
Yeah,
he's listed at 5'7". There's no way. I mean, he's so small.
I'm just putting it on a tee for myself
Yeah.
here in a few minutes.
But so just real quick, I'll say like a couple big picture things. As Chad mentioned, this is, I mean, it's not like we're not talking about all freshmen and sophomores here with this Pirates team, but I mean, they had 13 seniors on this team. And I would say Giante Thomas, one, Jabari Thornton, two, Quay Willis, three, James DeGrate, four, and their kicker, Giovanni Escada, what is that, 4 or 5? Those are probably the
Yeah, big time
biggest
seniors.
losses.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of talent coming back, including your quarterback, Courtney Parr, who has what,
Mm-hmm.
25, 26,
And
28 starts.
Caden Rowland at
Caden
linebacker, who's
Rowland
former
but I'm just saying
newcomer of the year.
when your quarterback has what, 30 starts, almost 30 starts under his belt, that's going to make a difference for that team when they come back
Mm-hmm.
next year.
For
And
sure,
Yeah,
for sure.
uh, but it does say something, I think, about just how special and how much of a difference maker both Bryson Rowland and Ethan
Mhm.
Thompson were.
And just one more thing off that, we've talked about obviously they haven't been able to run the ball nearly as well this year as compared to last year with those two guys you mentioned. They had 71 yards as a team rushing tonight, averaged just under four a carry, and
Yeah,
it just
Bryson was good for 71 on one
And
drive.
like
correct.
Bryson is like that hitter in baseball that comes up and you're like, this is the guy we want batting right now.
Hmm.
Uh,
Because that 4th and 5 play, he would make it happen.
Oh
so
yeah,
Chad,
agreed.
1994, uh, the the baseball season that got cut short because of the strike.
Uh-huh.
Jeff Bagwell wins MVP, and I swear, if he ever came up to the plate, it was like, I am not leaving. I have to watch this at bat because
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
you just knew
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
was gonna bust one or hit one out. So
Speaking of Bryson, I guess he could be here at the Hampton Inn in Corsicana right now.
Hey, you know.
Is this today? Tomorrow's the day that they have the bowl game, right?
No, I
That's
thought
the
that was
12th.
later.
I agree. I thought it was later too.
I'll look
It
that
might
up
be
while y'all
tomorrow. I think it might be the 6th. No, because I asked Cadell about it the other day, but he might have just been humoring me. Anyway, Arkansas Tech is playing in a bowl game, of course. Canada is what we're getting at. So
I'm checking right now.
Anyway, well, still a good season for la-vega. You make it to the fourth round. I mean,
By the way, and seventh time they've made it to the fourth round since 2015. Pretty good to
yeah,
me.
pretty
Pretty
impressive.
good.
Pretty
Yeah.
impressive. All right. Chad, so you mentioned that you were you you were kind of dismissing the West Orange Starks guys' numbers, but yeah, you watched the most
when
prolific
speaking, yeah, yeah,
running
yeah.
back in Texas schoolboy history tonight.
And he's
Mm,
gonna. I mean, he's gonna set the career record next week too. He's like 88 yards away is what
that's
Instagram
crazy.
posted. I knew it was like less than 90. Uh, but so let's Bremond played Mount Enterprise. Mount Enterprise features running back Kaegan Ash, who went into tonight's game 225 yards short of Kenneth Hall's single season rushing record of 4,045 and 592 yards short of Kenneth Hall's career record of 11,232
Let's
yards.
just stop for a second because I
Yeah.
just want to
Mm-hmm.
say,
Mm-hmm.
whenever a guy has a 2,000 yard season, you go,
Mm-hmm.
man, homie had a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we've had a lot of 2,000 yard backs. This kid has 4,000. That's double
That's
like
staggering.
what we would consider like a great season. He has doubled that.
That's
Yeah. I think
crazy.
he's like at 4,200 yards now
Mm,
That's ridiculous.
because he had 261 at halftime. He'd broken the single season record by halftime.
wow.
And he had 485 yards going on into their last drive, and he had the crucial play of the game. Really was a 3rd and 8, and he ran for 9 yards on it and then he had another breakaway that he slid down so his team could run out the clock. So he poked over 500. Like I think he maybe had like 504 rushing yards tonight. And the crazy thing is, if he doesn't get that first down on 3rd and 8, and they have to punt, or maybe they would have gone for it. I don't know. But Bremond had all the momentum, and they're only down 6 points, so they get the ball back, and Sam Kozowski was like just riddling the Mount Enterprise defense. He was hitting Jeremiah Morgan a bunch, but several different receivers. I think Bremond would have won the ball game if they could have just got the ball back for one more. I mean, uh, but anyway, man, it's crazy. Like I put in my lead, 122 points. I don't have the exact number on offense, but Kaegan Ash
I think it
had
was
more than
88
500.
points in the first half.
Right? Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought it was going to be 112 to 110.
And Bryce, you mentioned that it was like a 6-man game, and I'll tell you one other way that it was a little bit like a 6-man game. Is onside kicking allowed in 6-man?
That's a good
uh,
question. I think so.
yes,
Anyway,
yes, it is. It is.
both teams pretty much just exclusively onside kicked, and Mountain Enterprise recovered 2 in the first half,
Oh
and
my
they got the ball
gosh.
to start the third quarter, so
Oh.
they got a big possession advantage there midway through the first half. Um, but a little bit more on this Kaegan Ash story. He went into the night 592 yards from the career rushing record of 11,232 career yards,
Gosh.
and both these records have stood since 1953. So they're 72 years old. Um, He's now he needs less than 100 yards against Shiner next week to be
Mm.
that career rushing leader of all-time career rushing leader. And I talked to some Mount Enterprise people before the game because I was trying to nail down who was going to be tracking things. And
Hmm.
I eventually decided, you know what? I can track this on my notes as I'm taking photos. I can track it on my notes on my phone and just do it that way. 27 years of experience doing this kind of kicks in at that point. And but I was talking to these people and they're like, yeah, he doesn't, that all the records don't mean that much to him right now. And then I went and I talked to him after the game, and he was like, "I just want to win for my teammates and my teammates' parents." And it's like,
Oh,
okay, all right, all
PR
right.
trained kid.
And
Okay.
I said, well, let me ask you this though: in your wildest dreams, did you think you'd rush for 4,000 yards in a season? And he was like, no. He kind of conceded that point. This is pretty amazing. I think the kid and some of the kid's teammates, uh, if they don't really realize it right now, they're going to look in Texas football next year or
Yeah.
somewhere down the line. Somebody's going to ask them about it, and they're going
Yep.
to realize what a big deal it is.
Absolutely. So
By the way, he caught 2 touchdown passes, both of more than 50 yards.
Oh my
So he had
gosh.
more than 600 yards of offense
Oh,
tonight.
that's insane. I mean,
man.
and the night that we saw him the first time, Chad, against
Mm-hmm.
Chilton, I think he only had about 6 or 8 carries, but he busted so many long ones that
Mm-hmm.
he's just
If he
very fast. He's
If he'd have
very
played the
good.
whole third quarter that night, he'd already be past it.
Oh yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Uh, Kenneth Hall is a hallowed name in Texas high
Mm-hmm.
school football history.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like old timers, and you mentioned Kenneth Hall, it's like, oh, the
Hmm.
Sugarland Express.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think we got to get Kaegan Ash a nickname. We got to start working on that. But even though he's not from our area, like he needs a good nickname, the Mount Enterprise
I
Avalanche,
mean,
something. I don't know.
uh, I like Kaegan Ash and taking names.
That's pretty
That's
good.
not really a nickname. That's more of a
Yep.
slogan.
It works.
It screams for a T-shirt.
It does.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Joey McGuire this week, of course, Kaegan Ash is a Texas Tech signee. Uh, he said something like Kaegan Ash has never been clocked at slower than 4.4 in the 40.
My goodness.
And
Yeah, I
you
think
know
he's a
who it kind
10.
of
I
like,
think he's a
huh?
10-200 kid. Like,
Yeah.
so he's
Congrats to
not
them.
far from breaking 10 seconds.
When watching him play out there, he kind of like it's kind of like if Cameron Scadaboo, as he is right now, was playing against 2A D2.
That's scary.
That is.
Uh-huh.
It's,
Well, great season for Bremond again.
oh yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, Sam Kozowski, by the way, 7 touchdown passes tonight.
Wow.
Hank Scott had a good game. You could tell that they were having to, limit his carries, or
Hmm.
they passed the ball a lot. He wasn't up for getting pounded. I mean, he gave a
Yeah.
great effort, but they just weren't. He wasn't going to get up to 20-25 carries.
And Coach Kosowski has told me that that sophomore class, maybe at least this season, kind of got swept under the rug a little bit. He's excited about that group with his son. I think
Mhm.
Tyreek Scott is a sophomore. Like maybe
Yeah,
Jeremiah
Jeremiah
Morgan.
Morgan had
Yeah.
four touchdown catches tonight.
So
So yeah.
they've got some guys that they'll still have. I mean,
Hmm.
they are graduating some pretty special seniors, but
Hmm.
um, at least
Well, Tank is
they
Tank is
maybe
a
have
great
some.
kid and has put up some great
Yeah.
numbers. Yeah.
well, before we go, Michael, give us a quick rundown of Valor and Vanguard. You got to see them play for state titles yesterday,
Hmm.
Thursday.
Yeah, I'll start with Vanguard. Vanguard had a tough draw from the start. We kind of knew that. We talked about that on the Super Centex pod during the week that, I think they were 28, 29 point underdogs. I mean, it was gonna take a lot for them to have a chance in that one just on paper, just going in. And to Vanguard's credit, I mean, it was only down 4 at the half. It was 16-12, and its defense was playing really, really well. Got like 3 fourth down stops in a row, and yeah, I was impressed with Vanguard's defense and effort. But it gave it Vanguard tried an onside kick to open the third quarter, and I don't have the kid's name, but from the Pasadena First Baptist School, their stud running back, he took it and housed it like 53 yards for a touchdown, and then
Yeah,
and
onside
then
kick going gone wrong.
it was kind of like turnover and bad offensive drive and whatnot, and then First Baptist just kind of took over from there and ended up winning. So great season for Vanguard to get to this point. It has a lot coming back. Coach Schutbach was pretty excited about his son's coming back, and they've got something to look forward to in the future too.
Yeah, they will
Um,
graduate. Some good seniors too, though.
yes,
Drew
for sure.
Howard in particular.
He's a really good player. I was impressed with
Drew
him.
goes to my church. He's a big, tall, lanky kid, very polite, and is at least a three sport kid. He plays basketball and baseball too. So
He was a pretty impressive little left-handed quarterback.
yeah, he's good. How about
Um,
Valor?
So Valor, this one's much more positive, obviously. Valor obviously wins the TAPS Division 3 state championship. Vanguard lost in the Division 1 one, just to make that clear. But guys, seeing this Valor team in person uh, was maybe one of the most impressive things I've ever seen in my life. And in all honesty, seriously, I mean, like just from like a sports standpoint, and like you you might find that funny, but like seriously, like it, I would, I would be hard pressed to think in the future that I'll see a 6-man offense more electric than what Valor does. They throw the freaking ball every play. Bear Griesemer is he's got to be seriously. Like I think he's one of the most talented quarterbacks in this area. Just in his ability to kind of extend plays and look around. And obviously the offense is like designed to be that way. It's not like he's just doing everything on his own. He's got great blockers in front of him and elite weapons to throw to. But I mean, what he had 7 touchdowns, almost 400 yards passing, and
So what did he
they
finish with? 90
it's
something.
94 touchdowns this season. Um, he had I don't have his if you add last year's numbers, he has like 9,000 passing yards in a 2-year career and like 141 or 150 something touch like that's just
I think he
like
had
so
75 last year. So
yeah, and which were all of his passing numbers were like 6-man records last year for Central Texas. He shattered them this year, obviously, again. And I talked to him after the game. I was like, dude, like, I mean, like, what are you going to do in the future? And he's like, obviously, like, I don't have any plans to go play anywhere in college. He's like, but I'm going to try to like walk on somewhere. And like, I mean, he admitted he was like, look, I know the 6-man game's different, and I'm going to have to adjust to some different things if I end up playing at the 11-man level. He's like, but I mean, I think I'm good enough. And I was like, yeah, I mean, he can throw that sucker, man. He's good, guys. I'm serious. Like, he's a lot of fun to watch.
Hey, I've got an in with some of the Fijis at Texas Tech, and I'm sure they'd love to have him on their intramural team.
Dude, he would be a beast. I'm telling you, he would be a beast, man. Like,
Oh, Chad, you're such a prick
but
sometimes.
one more thing I'll say about that whole
I
situation.
mean, it
Look,
makes sense. Well, anyway,
no, for sure. Valor Prep only in its second year with the varsity program. Good for Stephen Bird and those guys over there. And um, kind of another thing I talked to them about, just aside from football, is like, look, I mean, we're always kind of dramatic at the end of football season, like, oh, goodbye to your seniors and stuff. These guys are going to turn around and play basketball and run track, and they've got a pretty good little thing going over there at Valor. I think they're expecting some more deep playoff runs in other sports. So
well, and they're building like crazy, I think, aren't they?
they
And
are. They are.
it could be a powerhouse here in town.
Yeah, and I mentioned this on one of our previous podcasts. We only have a few minutes left here, guys, but
Okay.
uh, about I thought that all these teams that we have, like Methodist Home, Texas Win, Valor, Waco Christian, Vanguard, that they
Live
should do.
Oak.
They Live Oak's 11 man now, but
Mhm.
Oh yeah, okay.
they should do like a round robin.
Yep.
They should all play each other. And I was talking with Zach Seifert at Vanguard. He was Vanguard's original football
Hmm.
coach. He's in administration now, and he was like, "Yeah, but with taps, they do this stuff now where they grade your. It's almost like strength of schedule, like there's points or something that and so uh, certain teams that they would play in that wouldn't help them at all.
Mm.
But I I mentioned, I was like, well, what if you did like just one day, uh like a Saturday or something like that, where Vanguard plays Valor, MCH plays Waco Christian. Uh, there's only five, I guess. So
The Big
Texas,
Five's like Philadelphia's college basketball scene.
maybe Texas Wind could play Aquila or Golson or
Right.
somebody like that. Uh, but yeah, I think this will be a cool thing, like a Central Texas 6 man extravaganza. So I'm
That'd be
throwing that
cool.
out there.
I
Uh,
love it.
I'm an idea guy, so somebody make that happen.
By the way, Michael, speaking of festivals, Michael and I started the year at the Ice Bowl in Hamilton,
That is true.
and here we are 15 weeks later, and who we got left? The Hamilton
Hamilton,
Bulldogs.
Wow.
Hamilton
Full circle moment.
Bulldogs.
That's
Yeah,
poetic.
I guess we'll probably pod next week and just talk about Hamilton. It'll be
Why
We should,
not?
we should go to Hamilton and go to this like famous burger place that they've got and like do the pod from there.
that's
I'm
actually
down.
that's a pretty good idea.
I like it.
All right. Sounds good. Let's go to bed. We'll see you
All
later.
right.
See ya.
See you guys.